And we're back here with more of our MLB the Show draft only franchise. Today we're going to be checking in on our minor league players. And rather than kind of tell the whole story of the game like I usually do when we hop into these games, I'm mostly just going to focus on the prospects. We'll really only see the results of the ABs of the guys who have major league potential in their future, kind of as like Ray Beasley, who we are familiar with, as well as the pitchers, as we will see Edgar Torres, our first round pick in the last draft, make his debut as a professional baseball player. Boyer would end up grounding out here, bringing up Chet Rodriguez. Now he's the first guy that we haven't seen yet, and he was a UDFA from this last year, kind of like Darren Roman, where he is already in the 70s overall, but he only has C potential. Definitely, I think he's a good enough hitter to eventually make it. I just feel like he's not as good of a hitter as Roman, and that's why Roman got the nod over him to play at the majors this year. Edgar Torres, now, we drafted him. He's already a 71 overall, I think, with A potential. Definitely probably our best long-term pitcher, but even though he's already in the 70s, I think that might be just a little bit deceiving here, as he has some really high ratings and low ratings. It's not like a very evened out player. He has like 77 walks per 9 and good stamina, good velocity as well, but he has a lot of per 9s in the 40s as well. And what you're seeing here as he allows a run already here in the first is that maybe he is a little bit further away than I was maybe hoping for when I drafted him, right? I thought he was going to be this player that was going to offer, a short path to the MLB while also offering upside. But when you have strikeouts per 9 in the 40s as well as hits per 9 as well, that's just a really dangerous combination to have really low. Philip Jung here is gonna go yard here in his first ever professional at-bat with the Birmingham Barons here, and that is exactly what we drafted this guy for, right? We know he's not the best fielding catcher, but we already have one of those on the roster, so I didn't really need that from him. He's just one of the few sources of power we have in the organization now. He's definitely not going to be a consistent hitter. His plate skills and his contact aren't in a spot where he is going to be consistent, but definitely is able to provide those big moments like we saw just there tying this game up. Now here, bottom of the second, Edgar Torres' pretty shaky debut will continue here as he allows a base runner again. This time, though, he will get a fly out to right field. Full count here for Torres going against Shane Casto, and he lets the 9-hitter walk. I typically don't like seeing, the worst hitter on the other team getting on base via walk. Definitely got to attack the zone a little bit, I feel like, more against those guys. Runner in scoring position here for Garrett Whitley. Full count pitch, he will get out though, so no runs added to the board for Torres here. Allowed a couple people on base, but at the end of the day, as long as they don't cross home plate, no harm, no foul, as Beasley's going to fly out here, bringing up Blake Boyer. He was really awesome for us down the stretch last year. Not the best start to his day, though, as he will go 0 for 2. Right here, bringing up Chet Rodriguez. That is well struck to right field. Gonna touch down off the wall here, but questionable base running decisions will end the inning for us. We're back here for the third. This is gonna go off the glove of McNally, our third baseman. He might have major league potential in the future, even though we're not really paying attention to his at-bats today. He's just so far away that I think that's why we're not watching his ABs today here. Another runner allowed there on the single, but he comes back and strikes out Mayfield. Felipe Armas is gonna take him yard to left field and bring home 2 runs for the Chattanooga Lookouts. And Yeah, Torres just was not impressive here through the first 3 innings. He's definitely shown that his weaknesses might need to keep him down, developing a little bit longer than I had hoped. I was hoping that he could be somebody that, you know, of course we would start at the minors, but could promote at some point this season to the majors. But I'm starting to think, obviously this is just one game, and if he is balling out in simulation, things can be different. But starting to think he's going to be spending this entire first year, at the very least here, at the AA level. Got that first out there on the flyout, bringing up Casto. That one was left in the zone, and it will go down for a hit. So 4 innings, he's allowed at least 1 base runner in every single one of them. 2 outs now, man on second for Garrett Whitley. That one's popped up. So he's allowing runners on base every single inning, but 2 of them have been scoreless. We're looking here on the bright side. Beasley, that was a low pitch. Hard to get a hit on that one, but he does just that. Picking up an RBI, bringing up Blake Boyer. He's going to right field. The diving play is not made. So we've now seen our 3 probably best prospects. Chet Rodriguez, I'd probably have to rank in that 4th spot. All bring home a run here today. Line out there from Rodriguez will hold the runners at first and second, and that would be the end of our 5th. Torres here in the 5th has a 2-2 pitch for Gonzalez. Gets him swinging at it. Keenan now 1 for 2 today. He's going to fly out here to left. The Pedro Collado. He also has some power, but that's pretty much all he has. And I don't think he's ever going to be an MLB level player. But a beautiful 5th for Edgar Torres here. His best of the day for sure. And I was trying to simulate some of the non-long-term prospects at bats, and I accidentally simulated Jung, and he got his 2nd home run here of his AA debut. He's brought in 3 runs. Really wish we could have seen it, but the whole simulation thing, like, I wish it wouldn't start simulating until you told it to start. Instead, you have to press stop, and sometimes if you don't do it fast enough, you're gonna miss some ABs like that. Edgar Torres here would start the 6th for us, but he would allow a hit in it. His pitch count was already into the 90s here to start the 6th. Although Alfonso is going to hit this to right field. It's going to get down, and that would be the end of the day for Edgar Torres. Allowed 3 runs in 5 innings pitched. Also left 2 runners on base for our next pitcher, which would be Daniel Driver. He is also somebody that I think will end up in on the major league team some point in the near future. So we'll take a look at his innings pitched as well. Starts his day with a strikeout, which is about as good as you can ask for. And he is going to get out of the 6th without allowing any runs. Really awesome job by Daniel Driver to come in and keep those runners from reaching home base. Philip Jung accidentally skipped his 2-run homer. This time we do see his at-bat, but it's not nearly as awesome of a one. He will still reach base, but because of an error, so won't get credited with the hit or anything. Driver striking out another batter here to start the 7th. Really strong from him, which is a good refresher to see after the struggles of Edgar Torres. And 2 outs now acquired here in the 7th. Going for 3, but he'll allow a walk here to take Gonzalez instead on the borderline pitch. A couple of those were borderline pitches, but he'd come back and allow another one, this time on the full count pitch. This would be lifted to Charles Mayfield, though, so he would get through the 7th without allowing a run. Beasley here, top of the 8th. Gets that one to touch down and gets on base. Boyer also going to get on base here with a single. 2 consecutive singles will bring up Chet Rodriguez. 3 of our best prospects. Hitting back to back to back is really nice, but he's going to wave at that curveball. That was nice and hittable. Philip Jung here in the 9th. would get one more hit, so 3 hits in his AA debut. Philip Jung was super duper impressive. We would end up beating the Lookouts 6-4. So because we were only focusing on the prospects and not really trying to tell the complete story of the whole game, this will end up being a pretty short episode here today. Because I'm recording this right before I release it, that's actually going to be pretty nice, because it will take less time to upload to YouTube, since I'm already going to be uploading a lot later in the day than I usually do. So we're going to simulate a couple more series here into the season. We would get swept by the Giants, but then we'd beat the Pirates. So we will end this episode at 5-5 on our Major League team. Taking a look at the hitting, Russell Mosqueda not having a great start. Rincon having an even worse one. Oh my goodness, our 3 best players, nobody's even hitting into the 200 yet. Good night. Sandoval, thank you. Finally somebody that knows how to hit. Gil is doing pretty good. 3 home runs already. It is pretty nice. But here's a look at some of our pitchers. Not the best start. I don't know how we're 5-5 with how terrible we're hitting. Roman has been terrible as well. One of our better hitting players, Benitez. Good night. How are we 5-5? Hopefully some of these guys can pick it up as the season goes along. They absolutely need to, because we can't hit this bad forever. But that's all I've got for this episode. I'll be back soon with another, and I will see you then.